Hello and welcome to ROAVR, and today we're talking about the top 3 things that you need to know about when you're looking to book a drone crew. Roll the music. So what are the top 3 things that you need to know about when you are looking to book a drone crew? Well, I guess the first thing that always comes up is a drone is not a drone. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that not all drones are born equal, in the same way that you get lots of different types of cars. You also get lots of different types of drones, and the drone essentially is the mechanism for getting the flying camera in the air. And generally speaking, these days the type of drone that you will be booking will probably be a quadcopter. That means it's got 4 whizzy propellers that hold this thing up in the air, and then the payload, the camera system, is held below it. Now, before we have a conversation, what we need to find out is exactly what the director wants in terms of a camera system, because it might be that he wants to lift a Red Epic or an Arri Mini with his own the DOP, or with his own choice of lenses on there, and that will require a big heavy lift drone and often bespoke permissions and an awful lot of infrastructure to support it. Or it might be that the scope is as broad as we just want to capture 4K footage for a corporate video or to broadcast on TV or whatever, and there's numerous different platforms that can be used for that, and the 2 most popular ones are probably the Inspire 1 Pro and the Inspire 2. They're two types of drones that are made by a Chinese company, DJI. They've got different camera systems underneath them. The Inspire 1 has a camera system underneath it, which is micro four thirds. It's called an X5, and it will shoot in various different codecs, and it's got interchangeable lenses. And on the Inspire 2, you've got a couple of choices. 3 actually. You've got the X4S, which is a fixed focal length, very low quality. It's only really any good for sort of survey, inspection and mapping work. You've got the X5S, which also has some software activation in it, which means that you can shoot in ProRes or Cinema DNG, but not all operators have that license, so you'll need to check. And then the best of the best of the best is a Super 35 sensor on the DJI camera called the X7, and that's got its own proprietary lens kit on it, and that is a truly awesome piece of kit, and in some cases is starting to replace heavy lift drones now. So a drone is not a drone. You really need to find out what the camera system is, what the deliverable is going to be. It's no good phoning up and saying we want a drone, because you could get anything, and it might be that it's not fit for purpose. In the case of the Inspire 2 with the X7 camera shooting in RAW or ProRes, really the operator needs to have 2 if not 3 aircraft for backups in case one goes tech or they have an accident, and that is a significant amount of investment, and not everybody's got that. So ask the questions, make sure you get the camera you want, but also make sure they've got more than one aircraft. So that's tip 1. A drone is a drone is not a drone. The second one that comes up all the time is single or dual operator, and the reason this question comes about is because there's a cost difference between the 2. And it reminds me of the old saying, buy cheap, buy twice. If you get a single operator, he has got to fly the drone and operate the camera. Now, that's fine for sort of high, wide GVs, but it's not very good for chasing cars, cyclists, motorcycles, dynamic shots through trees, that kind of stuff. Really, with that, you want dual operators. That's where the pilot is flying the drone and concentrating on what the drone is doing, and the camera operator is operating the payload. And crucially with that, which is going to bring me on to point 3, is that the pilot and the camera operator can't have just met on day one and be expected to produce fantastic goods. These guys need to be used to working together, have a really good working relationship, and they need to understand, have a communication system in place. So if you instruct someone that is normally a single operator and they bring a camera operator along, ask a few questions. You know, what sort of projects have these guys done together before? Can they give you some example footage? Because you don't want them to be working out their communication strategy on your shoot when you're paying them an awful lot of money. So, you know, single operator or dual operator, our preference is always dual operator, because you're going to get exactly what you want if you get 2 operators out on site. So my 3 tips: a drone is not a drone, single or dual operator. The third thing is crew, which I touched on there. Really, crew is absolutely crucial. There's a lot of drone companies out there who one day they'll be taking pictures of a chimney, and another day they'll be doing TV work. Now, that's not to say you can't do both, but generally, you know, if you've got a high-end production, you want a crew that's used to working in the TV and film environment. They're used to the language, they know who to speak to on location or on set. You know, they know how the thing works, essentially. And like I say, they have to have this close working relationship together. So you're going to be under a lot of pressure. You're going to want to get a lot of bang for your buck, but really you need a top-notch crew with the best equipment to get the best deliverable. As a good friend once said to me not that long ago, you know, the director often wants Apocalypse Now with the budget of Peppa Pig World, and you know, that's just not going to happen. So that's it. That's my top 3 tips for getting your drone crew, and I hope that's been useful. Bye for now. Roll the music.